So there's, of course, an impact in terms of what we say online, but what is the impact of what young South Africans are saying online, not just about how we feel about each other as young South Africans, but about how the world view us based on what the youth of the country are saying online, because, of course, the audience for online is the entire world. And joining us now to tell us a little bit more about who's monitoring that and seeing what youth are saying about the country online is Brand SA Digital Manager Matalane Ngobeni, to speak about youth, online, social media, national brand reputation. This seems like quite an interesting job description on LinkedIn to manage all of that.
Yes.
But certainly Brand SA are incredibly conscious around the impact of what young people are saying online, and even more conscious around what can we do to make the conversations that happen online positive conversations, correct?
Correct. So what we do from a Brand South Africa perspective is managing the brand image of South Africa as well as the reputation. So we take a lot of, we undertake marketing and communications campaigns that predominantly promote South Africa. And from a youth perspective, South Africa's population is made up predominantly of young people, so 18 to 35. So that becomes a very important target market that we need to concentrate on from a communications perspective in moving South Africa forward. And what we've seen is that the youth of South Africa are very vocal in their opinions. And that's also brought on by the fact that we live in a country that's democratic. We've got one of the most globally admired constitutions. So the young people of South Africa actually have a right or are free to live their dreams. And how that then manifests from a social media or digital perspective is that you're seeing that the young people are now becoming the drivers of conversations on societal issues and finding solutions to those challenges. So be it unemployment, inequality, and so forth. And those are some of the things we've seen with the likes of the Fees Must Fall movement. So it is a very important aspect for us as Brand South Africa to make sure that we are actively engaging with these young people, inspiring them to be brand ambassadors of the country.
Tell me about going about actively getting South African youth to think before they tweet with an idea of being on a world stage. Is that part of what the thinking is?
That is exactly what the thinking is. I think with the increase in the social media platforms and internet penetration on the rise in South Africa, and I think this is a global trend where brands and organizations are no longer the authority in terms of what they communicate. We are moving away from institutions setting the tone on their brands. It's now the consumers who are giving influence. So it's a peer influence society that we're living in nowadays. So it's very important for us as Brand South Africa to make sure that we are driving that inspiration and making sure that citizens are the ones that are driving the message and impact. I think a lot of us in our own personal space nowadays, if you're trying to go on holiday, you're more likely to believe a peer or even a friend on social media who recommends something versus a website
with
testimonial and so forth. So that is the environment in which we're finding ourselves in. So it is very important for Brand South Africa to rally citizens to be the drivers of promoting South Africa. It is very important for us. So those are the campaigns and the initiatives we undertake. So some of the campaigns we run is around constitutional awareness, getting South Africans to really understand what it is that the Constitution offers them. We also promote a lot of positive content, access to training that is available in the various sectors, just a lot of content that we give out there and trying to rally South Africans to be positive. So we tell a lot of the good stories.
Fantastic. That's what you got to do. You got to bring positivity into it.
Yes,
Matalane, a final message from you, direct to camera, to the South African youth, to just think before you tweet and to remember that you're on a global stage.
That's correct. So remember, what you put online stays online forever. Even if you delete, it is there. What you're putting online is always going to reflect on you as a brand, whether you're looking for a job today or 5 years from now, it's always going to be part of what your potential employer is going to look for. So be very careful about what you put out there, what you tweet and so forth. Also remember that because it's in an era where what we're putting out there reaches global audiences, think about what you're saying about your country so that you're putting out a positive message and playing your part into building a better South Africa, playing your part into making sure that tourists are coming into our country and seeing the beautiful landscape that we have to offer.
3 words, play your part. I
Play
think
your
that's
part.
the ultimate takeout from this. Matalane Ngobeni is, of course, the digital manager at Brand South Africa, and she's got important work to do. Matalane, thank you so much for coming through, and back to the office, I guess.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been lovely.